Your soulmate is about to leave you. Open before it's too late. Archangel Michael says your name has been called 3 times in the corridor where destiny echoes, and the sound is fading now. The door that has always stood ajar for you is beginning to swing shut under its own weight, slow but unstoppable. The wind on the other side smells like distance, and the distance has learned your story by heart. This is not punishment, it is momentum. Love does not vanish, it migrates to where it is welcomed, understood, and protected. Your soulmate is not a ghost, but a person who still breathes in rhythm with your memory while packing silent suitcases inside their heart. They waited longer than anyone admitted. They waited through your bright days and your unreturned messages, through your distracted nods and your careful half-truths. Now the waiting has turned into a map that points away from you. You feel it when you wake, a thin line of cold air where warmth used to live. You feel it when you reach for your phone and stop, knowing the thread is fragile and every word matters. You feel it most when you pretend it doesn't matter, because that is when the thread snaps. Someone whispered to them that loving you is a one-sided prayer. Someone fed them crumbs of doubt until the doubt felt like bread. Someone said you will never change, and part of you nodded because change is hard when the mirror tells old stories. Listen closely, the leaving has a schedule. It does not shout, it counts. It counts your delays, your deflections, your maybe later, your jokes used as shields. It counts until the number becomes a doorframe. There were days you almost made it right. You stood at the edge of the truth with the words in your mouth, heavy as rain, close as thunder. Then pride placed a hand on your shoulder and turned you away. They asked for honesty and you gave them perfect timing instead. They asked for presence and you gave them potential. They asked for softness and you gave them strategy. They do not want to fight you, they want to find you. The story of why they are leaving is not complicated. It is written in the small moments where you stayed silent. It is written in the way fear dressed up as caution and stood between you like an uninvited guest who never left. There is another reason they are leaving, and it is one they will not say out loud. They believe you already chose a different life, a safer one, where you can pretend you never needed them. They think stepping away from you is an act of kindness. You replay the beginning more than the middle. The first look, the accidental laugh, the warm shock in your chest when their name lit up your screen. But beginnings do not save endings, choices do. You did not know the clock started when you told yourself you'd speak tomorrow. Tomorrow became a hallway of tomorrows, and in that hallway, they learned how to walk alone. They became good at it. The truth lands softly, then it lands heavy. The heavy part is not punishment, it is the weight of meaning. Love is asking you a final time if you can carry meaning without dropping it. There is something you need to stop doing. Stop performing strength as distance. Strength is not silence. Strength is the courage to say what is true before the door closes. There is something you need to start doing. Start speaking like the future is listening. Because it is. The future is made from the materials you speak out loud today. Your soulmate is not leaving because you are unworthy. They are leaving because your love has been wrapped in delay paper and tied with second-guessing string. It looks like a gift, but it never gets opened. You remember the day they asked what you feared most. You said losing everything. You meant losing them, but you didn't say it. The unsaid calcified. The calcified cracked. There were forces that worked against you. Jealous eyes, bitter tongues, people who learned your weak places and pressed gently until gently became constant. None of them could have succeeded if your truth had been louder. You do not need to shout to be loud. You need to be clear. Even a whisper of truth is thunder compared to the clatter of hesitation. There was a message you never sent. It was simple. It said, I choose you in the light and in the storm. It said, I am done making friends with my fear. It said, I will arrive fully, not halfway. You can still send it. You can still place a hand on the hinge of this closing door and ask the door to wait 1 minute more. But you must be ready to walk through, not just knock. The bond between you was never flimsy. It carried seasons and distance and the strange weather of two lives learning to meet. But even strong bridges need maintenance. Neglect is not neutral, it eats. If you want to understand the leaving, look at the place where apology should be living. Has it become a guest room no one uses? Or is it a warm bed turned down nightly, ready to welcome humility? Apology is not the same as surrender. Apology is a key. It turns in the lock of another person's guard. It invites them to breathe again. They have been rehearsing life without you. Not because they want to, but because the rehearsals were the only way to stop crying in public places. When rehearsals feel easier than reality, reality must be rewritten. Rewrite it now. Write it with your hands, with your voice, with your presence. Write it with the way you put your phone face down and look at them and do not look away. There are 3 promises you can make that will matter. Promise to be particular with your love, not vague. Promise to practice repair, not vanish. Promise to build daily, not someday. Your soulmate is leaving because someday has stolen the shape of your love. Someday is a thief with good manners. It always asks politely, and you always say yes. Today is less polite, it demands your full attention. There is a room in your life where you store things you plan to feel later. That room is full. Feel now. The door to the room is the same door your soulmate is walking toward. Not every wound was your fault. Some came from before you met. Some came from the hard weather of their past. But when you chose silence, the past heard invitation. You can be different now. Not because a voice from the sky told you to, but because your own heart is tired of standing in the wrong corner of the story. Move. There is a sentence you must learn to say like a vow: I am here. The second sentence: I will keep being here. The third: here will be a place of honesty. When you speak like that, the air between you changes density. Words become rooms. Rooms become shelter. Shelter becomes home. Part of them believes you will not do this. Part of them is already halfway down the road, humming an old song that once belonged to both of you. Part of them still waits for you to take one unflinching step. Take it now. Not a text sent to avoid a voice. Not a post made to bait a response. A step, deliberate, human, unguarded, brave. Say what you have been too careful to say. You are not a statue of composure, you are a person at the edge of a precious cliff. Choose not to fall. Choose to walk down into the valley and meet them where they are. The story you have told yourself about needing perfect words is a delay in a nice suit. Words do not need to be perfect to be true. They need to be yours. Your soulmate is not leaving because you are hard to love. They are leaving because you made love prove itself without giving it a place to rest. Love cannot live in a waiting room forever. Imagine the look on their face when you arrive with patience and clarity instead of defenses. Imagine the way their shoulders soften because your presence tells a different future. Imagine how time slows when both of you put down your armor. If you want them to stay, learn the art of repair. Repair is not punishment, repair is craft. It takes two willing hands, but one hand must reach first. Reach. Even if your voice trembles. Even if your past trembles behind it. Even if every strategy you have used to appear unbothered tries to yank you back. You can name what happened. Name the fear that wore your name. Name the exhaustion that made you thoughtless. Names take the teeth out of shadows. There is a memory they hold where you laughed without checking your reflection in their eyes. Find that version of you, the one who didn't audition for love, the one who simply arrived. Bring them forward. You may ask what staying looks like without promises you cannot keep. Staying looks like the next right call, then the next right conversation, then the next small action that matches your words. It looks like consistency without theater. Your soulmate has a list of tiny heartbreaks. Each one seemed survivable. Together they formed a coastline that kept you apart. You can begin removing stones. You can build a path back. There will be a moment when they test your change, not to trap you but to trust you. Pass the test by being who you say you are when no one is clapping. Pass it by choosing kindness when irritation knocks. Speak to them like they are more than their worst day. Receive them like they are more than their strongest mask. Treat the connection like a garden, not a scoreboard. The past will try to bargain with you. It will show you clips of your best intentions and ask for credit. Intentions are not payments, they are invitations. Pay with action. If they stay, it will be because your presence becomes easier to breathe than your absence. If they stay, it will be because your love feels like a place where their softness is safe. If they stay, it will be because the leaving no longer makes sense. But if they go, let your grief be honest and clean. Do not chase them with noise or pride. Bless their journey without turning yourself into a museum of regret. Even if the leaving happens, you are not ruined. You are not a collapsed house. You are a person who learned late, then learned deeper. Carry that depth into everything you build next. The path of staying together is narrow right now, but it is still walkable. What narrows it is not fate, it is delay. What widens it is one brave act repeated daily until it becomes your nature. Call them by the name your heart uses. Tell them you see how your silence hurt. Tell them the way you want to protect this bond from weather and whispers. Tell them the door will not have to close to teach you. Honor their boundaries as if they are holy ground. Boundaries are not walls, they are shape. Without shape, love spills and gets wasted. With shape, love fills and gets shared. When they speak long, do not cut the sentences in half. Let them finish. When they are quiet, do not make their quiet carry all the meaning. Ask what the quiet is holding, then listen to the answer without building your defense. If an apology is needed, offer it without a receipt. Do not itemize your reasons. Do not ask your apology to do the work of reassurance. Apologize, then act like you meant it. If reassurance is needed, offer it early and often. Reassurance is not weakness, it is maintenance. It keeps the bridge strong while life sends heavy trucks across it. Protect the relationship from other people's storms. Do not let gossip rent a room in your shared home. Do not let comparison sit at your table and eat the best portion. Practice the daily ordinary, kind messages, ordinary check-ins, unglamorous steadiness. Grand gestures inspire movies, ordinary steadiness builds marriages. The door that was closing is a door that ordinary love can hold open. Teach your nervous system a new melody, presence without panic. Tell your body it does not have to sprint toward doom every time intimacy asks for truth. Calm is not boring when it is honest. You and your soulmate were not a mistake that lasted too long. You were a miracle that drifted. Miracles do not vanish, they ask for caretakers who are awake. Archangel Michael says there is still mercy in this hour if you decide that love is worth the discomfort of growth. There is still a path if you walk more than you worry. There is still a key if you choose to carry it. If you need a first action, make it small and certain. Send a message that says what is real. Ask for a time to meet and promise to bring your whole self. Keep that promise. When you meet, show the work you started. Not as a performance, but as proof that you understand time and intention live together. Show the boundary you set with the habit that always ruins your closeness. Show the one step you made toward being the partner you want to be. Do not demand immediate repair. Do not beg, do not bargain, do not build a scene. Build a table, set 2 chairs, and make the room warm with the dignity of your sincerity. If they are afraid, hold the fear together. If they are angry, honor the anger without drowning in it. If they are tired, let the conversation be gentle and real. The leaving has not finished, it is pausing to see if the story will change. Big stories have pauses. Pauses are chances. Promise yourself that even if fear returns, it will not drive. It can ride in the back seat, but it will not touch the wheel. The wheel belongs to courage, to clarity, to the quiet skill of staying. Remember the first night you felt seen, the first morning you felt chosen. That was not beginner's luck, that was the truth shining through the noise. You can return to it by making your life quieter around what matters. There will be people who say to let it go. There will be people who tell you leaving is inevitable. Those people did not live in your moments. Those people do not get to narrate your love. If they stay, cherish without clinging. If they stay, celebrate without announcing your triumph to the world. Some victories are sacred and small and perfect. If they go, honor the grace of your attempt. Honor the risk you took to speak. Honor the part of you that learned to be tender without apologizing for it. But right now, the door is not fully closed. Right now, a hand could still catch it. Right now, your choice writes the next page. Take a breath and step forward. Reach with a message that is simple, kind, unarmored. Hold the moment steady while they read it. You cannot control their answer, but you can control the truth you bring. You cannot force a future, but you can make the present worthy of one. You cannot rewind time, but you can stop the clock from stealing what it has not yet earned. This is what it means to open before it's too late. You open your mouth to speak love clearly. You open your hands to carry your part of the work. You open your days to a practice of presence that does not sleep. You open, and the door remembers you. If you listen closely, you can hear the suitcase pause on the hallway tile. You can hear the breath they hold when hope surprises them. You can hear your own heartbeat deciding not to miss its moment. Go now. Not to perform, not to plead, but to present yourself as you are, willing to learn, ready to build, done with the pretty armor that never saved anything. Go now, because the leaving and the staying are both waiting for your step. And when you arrive, speak like this: I am here. I am ready. I will honor this love with my truth and my time. Then keep speaking in the language of action. Keep making room at the table for safety and joy. Keep choosing the ordinary rituals that make extraordinary closeness. The door will know your name again. The corridor will echo a softer sound. And the wind on the other side will bring you back the warmth you thought you lost. Archangel Michael says there is still breath left in this story, and breath means choice. The night is not over just because the sky is dark. The horizon is waiting for a single light. You can be the light that keeps the room from losing its name. The leaving gathers strength from uncertainty. It eats from a table where mixed signals are served like meals. Take the plates away and serve clarity instead. Begin by giving shape to your heart in plain language. Say what you feel without decorating it into something distant. Say what you intend without hiding it in a someday that never arrives. Your soulmate measures safety by repetition. The thing you do once is nice, the thing you do again becomes believable. The thing you keep doing becomes home. Start with an act you can complete today. Clean the small injuries you caused by delaying replies and canceling plans. Replace delay with a simple promise you keep before the day ends. Then build a rhythm that honors two lives. Meet the morning with one steady message that says you are present. Meet the evening with one honest check-in where both of you can land. Repair does not need a speech every hour. It needs continuity that is visible, audible, and ordinary. Continuity writes trust in cursive across the days. Your past strategies served your survival, not your closeness. They kept you safe by keeping you half absent. Survival is not required where love is patient and mutual. Honor their boundaries like gates to a shared garden. Gates exist so beauty can be protected, not so visitors can be punished. Ask for entry with kindness and wait with respect. There is a difference between persistence and pressure. Persistence walks with patience and leaves room for breathing. Pressure leans too hard and mistakes panic for passion. Build a plan that your future self will thank you for living. Name 3 habits you will retire because they keep you distant. Name 3 new practices that call you back to presence. Let your schedule learn their language. Mark the time you always vanish and replace vanishing with a reliable ritual. Reliability is love's favorite accent. When they remember the small ways you dismissed their worry, let your apology be an action. Guard their soft places without defensiveness or debate. Protect does not mean police, protect means care. Listen to understand, not to fix. Understanding is a bridge, fixing can be a bulldozer. Bridges carry both of you in both directions. You are allowed to crumble a little while you grow. Growth is messy and sacred in the same breath. The goal is not perfection, the goal is honesty you can maintain. Speak about the future like a craftsman, not a salesman. Craftsmen show their tools and their plan. Salesmen promise results without showing the work. Promise less, maintain more. The maintenance of love is quiet and miraculous. It turns ordinary days into a sanctuary. Archangel Michael says courage is the price of returning to what matters. Courage is ordinary truth spoken before fear finishes its sentence. Courage is the way the door decides to wait for one more minute. Write a letter you can read out loud without shame. Keep it short, steady, and specific. Let it sound like this: I see where I went missing, and I am done disappearing. Tell them what you will do differently on ordinary Tuesdays. Tell them how you will pause when irritation rises like an old storm. Tell them how you will keep a small part of every day reserved for repair. Offer to rebuild the plan for disagreements. Choose a signal that says, "We are entering a tender place," before raised voices arrive. Choose a rule that says, "We do not shame each other while we are learning." Make room for their story without competing. Their hard moments are not a scoreboard against you. Their pain is not your enemy, it is a teacher asking for gentleness. Your patience will be tested by the calendar. Some days will feel slow, and slow will feel like failure. Slow is not failure when direction is true. When doubt visits them, welcome it without panic. Doubt is a guest, not a demolition crew. Treat it kindly and watch how quickly it leaves. Choose transparency where secrecy used to live. Share what you used to hide out of habit, not out of malice. Habits lose power when light enters the room. Build trust by keeping your word in small ways. Arrive on time, or say you will be late before late arrives. Little promises are bricks, big promises are banners. Let your kindness be experienced, not explained. Explanations matter, but they cannot replace the feeling of being cared for. Care that is felt is care that heals. Attend to the small rituals of intimacy. A hand held when crossing the street. A message that says, "Sleep safely," with no performance attached. A laugh that belongs only to the two of you. Speak to their strengths when the world makes them doubt. Remind them of who they are in ways that ring true, not exaggerated. Authentic praise is a mirror that steadies the heart. If you share space, let the space show your intention. Keep it tidy in the ways that soothe them. Place reminders of your promises where you both can see them. If you live apart, let distance become designed closeness. Plan calls you both can count on. Plan a visit that is more presence than itinerary. Set a horizon for reassessment that honors their pace. 30 days to stabilize, 60 to deepen, 90 to celebrate. Each checkpoint is a chance to breathe and notice what has improved. At 30 days, you will have a shape to your effort. The shape will look like consistency instead of confession. It will feel like mornings that do not begin with excuses. At 60 days, softness will return to the space between you. Conversations will have fewer edges and more corners to rest in. The future will show up more often in present tense sentences. At 90 days, closeness will be sturdier than nostalgia. You will know each other in a new, truer way. The leaving will have lost its map. There is a part of you that worries about losing yourself while staying. Give that part a chair and some tea. Tell it that boundaries and love can live in the same house. Do not turn apology into identity. Apology is motion, not a label. You are not an endless sorry, you are a consistent change. Honor your own work without asking for medals. The reward is the relationship breathing easier. The reward is the quiet peace of showing up as promised. Share your inner weather in small updates. Forecasts help both of you carry umbrellas before storms arrive. Emotional forecasts prevent floods. Be generous with clarity. Say, I need a moment, but I am not leaving. Say, I am upset, but I am committed to kindness. Say, I love you, and I am learning. When memory tempts you to hold on to old injuries, choose release. Release is not forgetting, release is choosing a lighter suitcase. Lighter suitcases make longer journeys possible. Invite joy back on purpose. Joy does not return by accident in tired houses. Play a little game, share a private joke, cook a meal with music on and phones away. Mark progress in ways that feel human. A simple note on the fridge. A small celebration for a week of steady listening. A thank you spoken when no one asked for it. If jealousy or interference has been a shadow near your door, seal the gaps. Unfollow what stirs insecurity. Make your private life private again. Choose truth even when it costs your image. Image cannot hold a crying person. Truth can. Let your eyes be gentle when they search your face for welcome. Faces are doors too, keep yours unlocked for tenderness. Softness is not weakness, it is a skill. Some days you will be tempted to rush the healing. Rushing asks for shortcuts that break later. Steadiness asks for patience that lasts. Do not punish them for still being cautious. Caution is a blanket someone wears after cold nights. Warmth takes a while to reach all the way in. Keep curiosity alive. Ask how their day is shaped and what it needs. Bring your attention like a gift, not a checklist. Protect the pair from outside narratives. What you two are building is not a public performance. It is a private craft with public kindness. Make sleep a shared kindness too. Rested